First quarter full-size truck sales are in. Ram has had a staggering great first quarter, while Ford has posted some massive losses. Let's roll the intro and get going. On Thursday, each of the manufacturers released their first quarter sales numbers for their full-size pickup trucks. While Ram had a very impressive quarter, things at Ford are looking very concerning. Toyota and GM had a flat first quarter. We're going to use this chart to break it down and give you our thoughts.
I want to say that I apologize for the noise in the background, but this is our sales chart for the first quarter of our full-size trucks. As you can see here, the Ford S-Series still sold the most trucks, but it had a 16% slide from quarter one last year to quarter one this year. The Silverado sold about the same amount of trucks as it did last year compared to this year. Ram had a really good quarter, near 100,000 trucks. The Sierra was down about 3,000 trucks, about 4%, and the Tundra, with combined hybrid and turbo sales, was down about 1%.
The Toyota Tundra being down only 0.9% throughout this first quarter feels like a major victory for Toyota. These Tundra trucks with the turbo V6 engine, like the 5.3 and the 6.2, have had major engine problems, but the hybrid motors on these Tundras are very capable and potent. They have not had the same type of engine problems as your turbo counterparts. Be expected to pay about $3,500 more than you would if you were to get the turbo V6 in the Toyota Tundra. The Tundra still gets about 22 combined MPG with the hybrid, but I feel like it is a better hybrid than the F-150 is. One more thing as we wrap up on the Tundra: don't be surprised if the hybrid sales continue to rack up. These gas prices are probably going to change the way that people buy trucks and lean more towards the hybrid versions and not the more high powerful V8s of Ford and GM. The GMC Sierra being down only 4% is a major victory for GM and GMC as a brand. GMC as a brand and GM as a whole had a dismal first quarter. GM outside of the Chevrolet brand has really struggled. Cadillac was down nearly 30%, Buick was down over 33%, and GMC was down over 25%. A couple more things on the Sierra is that their new truck is going to be out sometime in the fall, so they're going to be wrapping up production on the 26 models sometime in the next few months. Don't be surprised if the sales numbers in the second and third quarter start to dip due to the changeover at their plants. The other thing is that the high price of diesel is going to be a major sticking point. We're going to see sales of the Sierra and Silverado starting to slip on the diesel side if these diesel prices continue to increase. Ram had a really good quarter with selling nearly 100,000 units. Ram Trucks has a lot of excitement around it with the TRX coming back this fall. Also, Ram being in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series has really gained a lot of popularity and eyeballs to not only to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as a whole, but Ram as well. Ram is also had a sales boost because of the Hemi returning to the lineup. Let me tell you, Ram is going nowhere but up, and it's a really refreshing sign to see Ram as a serious competitor to Ford and GM in the truck space. The Silverado basically being flat from the first quarter last year to the first quarter this year doesn't spell a whole lot of trouble for GM as regard to the Silverado. As we stated before in the Sierra video, GM has had a dismal first quarter. So the Silverado being flat is a major victory. One thing that the Silverado has done a really good job of is selling to fleet and work customers. They have sold a lot of their fleet and work truck customers a lot of pickups. They have maintained that $30,000 to $45,000 bracket very, very well. The thing that is troubling for the Sierra and Silverado as a whole is this truck right here. It is a Silverado with the Duramax inline 6 in it, and the more that diesel prices continue to climb, the more and more people that bought these trucks are starting to get rid of them. I already know one person that had a Sierra with the Duramax inline 6, got rid of his in favor of the 2.7. And let me tell you, he has reported to me a massive fuel savings. I had another viewer that got rid of his Sierra Duramax diesel in favor of the 5.3. If there were two things that were stop the momentum of the Silverado, it would be this Duramax right here and the production switch between the old truck and the new truck that's coming out this fall. The Ford F-Series being down 16% for the quarter, not only did it bring down Ford as a company, but it also brought down the full-size pickup arena as an entirety. The full-size pickup arena was scheduled to have a relatively flat quarter until Ford announced this big, giant loss. It made a lot of people really angry with Ford. Ford came out and said that, we had a tough winter on the East Coast. We had this big snowstorm and all this, and we couldn't bring our inventory to the dealership. Even though that might be true, I'm also going to say this. A lot of people are really pissed off with Ford and their quality and these recalls. The recalls, everybody else has dealt with recalls, but Ford has been a poster child for these recalls. And I can tell you this as much: everybody is sick of Ford and not getting their cars from the factory in the correct manner. These pickup trucks are costing $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, and sometimes $100,000. They need to get it right. To wrap up my thoughts on Ford right now, if Ford has another quarter where the S-Series is down double digits, let me tell you, Jim Fairley is going to have a hard time sleeping at night, because there are going to be a bunch of people knocking on his door wanting him to be removed from the CEO of Ford. Question to you guys is, which full-size pickup truck are you most confident in? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you for watching the AZ Online Car Show, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.